What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Game Record. This is episode number 78, and I am your wonderful host, Keon, aka Mr. Showzone, and I'm alongside the main host of the main show because Louise couldn't be here today. So we got the one and only, the Nerdy Chicano, aka Raul.
What's up? What's up? It's been a while since I've been here, Keon, so
Yeah,
we'll see how today goes.
It's been a little while. Speaking of it being a little while, it's been a little while since we've seen our guest for today's show. This is one of probably my favorite human beings on the planet. He kept me in check when I hit him up at the last second for being on the show. We got Tony. We got Tony.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Long time.
It's been a long time. Man. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It kind of hit me. It kind of hit me deep because I was like, damn, I need to do better.
Bro, he told me too. He was like, hey, you gotta tell Keon to to make sure he hits me up like days in advance, man. I can't be coming on last minute.
Man, I told you what kind of shit I got going on in my house, man.
Yeah, I know.
I got a
That's
bunch
why I
of
made
grown
you.
man
That's why
stuff
I made sure.
I'm working on over here. You gotta hit me up in advance so I can make plans, dude.
Yeah, nah, I definitely made sure this time to let you know in advance. Plus, I had already told you, I think during one of our Last of Us reviews that we were gonna, have you on. So
Yeah.
But how
I wanted
are you
to
doing,
for sure.
Tony? How you been doing, bro?
Busy. busy work.
Yeah,
Yup.
yeah.
I play as much as I can when I can, but like ever since this Harry Potter game came out, I'm like I'm relegated to barely being able to touch my PlayStation. My girls are playing it all the time now. My wife, who doesn't even play video games, she's been playing that sucker, boy.
Damn.
Yeah,
She really
yeah.
took over the PlayStation now, huh?
Yo, she's been playing a lot of it. I mean, I finished it, but she's been playing a lot of it, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that.
Hey.
I mean,
Finally.
I know you. So you asked me like right before we had started the show.
Yeah,
Actually, right before Raul came in, but
yeah, he
what?
interrupted all
So
that.
what have you been playing? I guess we'll kind of go around. I know Raul hasn't been playing anything.
Nothing.
He been busy with the movies and stuff. But what have you been playing, Tony?
Ooh, this year I've been bouncing, man. I went. What did I was playing something Dying Light 2, I think. I
Mm.
played that for a while. I finally beat it. That was more of one of those where I was playing it and man, I put in all this time. Let me at least finish it. It wasn't anything great. It was okay. Gameplay was fun, but eh. And then Harry Potter. This new Harry Potter game came out. Man, it's really well done. It's got some issues here and there with it, but for the most part, it was a lot of fun playing that. It had a pretty cool story. I beat that the other day. Now I'm probably just gonna kind of sit back. There's a few games coming out that I'm waiting on, but I have a huge backlog of games that I've been playing right now, like the Hitman. You know how they did that World of Assassination thing with the
Mm.
Hitman
Yeah.
games? I've been
Mm-hmm.
dipping my toe in that, just having fun being ignorant on there. You know, it's one of those where you're stealthy, and then one person sees you, and then everybody has to
Ain't
die.
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. As
What
soon
about
as
you?
you get caught, it's like, well,
Yep. Everybody's
just take
dying.
out the blick and just go
Out,
to town. Yeah, I
out come the
feel
silver ballers.
you.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right. Well, honestly, I feel like I have to do this, but just because, like, since it's been a while and you haven't been on the game core since it's been under new administration, aka me. I feel like it's only. I feel like it's only right.
The new
What?
management.
I forgot to, and I feel bad because I forgot to do this with Dwayne in the last episode. Um, what is your favorite video game of all time?
Ooh.
If you can't decide on one, you can give me two.
So, I mean, it's really to me. It's always been one of those. I can't really give like a number one. I mean, one comes to my head, but it's difficult. Any day can be. I can swap them out. Mine have always been like a five that come to mind. But if you're asking me for one, I mean, I'm old.
Okay,
Mine
let's
is
go with the
probably
top
going to
three.
be okay. Again, I'm old, so mine's going to be Ocarina of Time. That's the one
Okay,
that really
okay.
got me. And then I know a lot of people don't love it, but I happen to love Bioshock Infinite. I thought,
Mm,
I mean, there are moments in that game that to this day kind of give me chills when you first come up and you see the city in the sky with the light and everything with the music. Ooh, that always hits me. And
mm.
then controversial, I'll say The Last of Us 2. It's got one of my
I
favorite
knew it. I
characters
knew
in
it.
there.
I knew it.
It's
I
got
knew
one
it.
of
I
my
knew it. I
favorite
knew it.
characters, man. I know a lot of people hate her, but to me, she's the most fleshed out character in the series.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'll
gonna get
hold you
into
to
it
that.
because I
Just
know
I
Raul
won't
hasn't
say
played it.
anything just because Raul hasn't, he
Yeah,
hasn't played the
same.
game. He hasn't
I'm
seen,
waiting on
but
Luis's playthrough.
yeah. Um.
Abby boy, oof.
Uh. Yeah. Well. All right. That's a solid top two. Um. So. Dude, I can't. I chuckle. I chuckle whenever Tony brings up The Last of Us. I really do. It just because like anytime it gets brought up, me and him always kind of like butt heads. Um, but it's all good though because everybody has their own opinion. Um, Raul, I truly cannot wait. As a matter of fact, I think when you finally get to see a full playthrough, we're gonna do a review on. We're going to
It
do a review
should.
on the game.
You should. I think that would be a good idea. I played it when it first came out, and my wife, she was like, we would be sitting down for dinner or whatever, and she'd look at me, you want to go play The Last of Us 2? Like, babe, just tell me you want to watch me play The Last of Us 2. Just tell me that. Don't do that.
I
So, I
mean,
mean,
listen, she
to
just
this
wants to.
day, we still debate on the my favorite character. She hates her.
Mm,
I love her. So,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Uh,
Tell Luis to
all
hurry up with
right.
his playthrough, bro, so that way I can watch it.
I'm dead ass about to start. I'm about to nah for real. I'm about to scream at Louise, bro. Fuck.
Damn.
It takes two. Get The Last of Us
Hey,
2 out
no,
so
no.
Raul
It takes
can.
two.
Hey,
You
those
can't front
games
on
are
that. That
funny.
that
Well,
is a
no.
great game.
I love, dude. When I finished my playthrough, when that game came out, because I got it the same month it came out. When I finished my playthrough, the second it hit the credits, I was like, Game of the Year. I called it Game of the Year
Same,
immediately, like off rip.
same.
And I was like, all throughout that year, I was like, there's no game that's touching It Takes Two.
I agree.
So,
I mean, that was the first that's the only game me and my wife have ever played together, all the way through together. And we actually
mm-hmm.
like we traumatized our daughter with the elephant. She was full on crying at that moment, and my wife was sitting there trying to
Nah,
comfort
y'all
her,
just as evil
and
as
I'm
the
sitting there
parents.
crying, laughing. I didn't know I mean, that was the first time playing through, and when that happened, she was crying, and yeah, it was a
Bro.
whole not my best moment as a parent, but it's funny now.
Oh man, that's great. That's great though. That's great. Um, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get on with this just because I want to get this stupid ass topic out of the way because I'm sick of fucking talking about these stupid ass developers, bro. Microsoft and Activision, man. Listen, bro, I need y'all, please, Sony, can y'all just let it go? Please let Microsoft have Activision because I'm sick of hearing a new article about how Sony is crying and whining every other week about why they don't want Microsoft to have Activision. And they bring up Call of Duty. Motherfucker, Call of Duty isn't even the biggest of y'all's sales on y'all's platform.
But it is big.
It is, of course, it is big, and it's a
Pause.
significant portion of their revenue, but it's not what takes up. It's not their main draw to PlayStation at this point. It's not. The main draw is their exclusives. The main draw to consoles at this point is their exclusives, and I give the exception to Xbox because Xbox now has been bringing their stuff over to PC. So like they have like the PC Game Pass or whatever and the Xbox Game Pass, and you can pretty much play any Xbox game you want on PC. So at this point, it's kind of useless to have an Xbox unless you're a collector. That's my opinion on it. But as for PlayStation, they have majority of their exclusives on their platform, and later down the road, now they're starting to bring out their exclusives to PC. Like most recently, we had what is it, Miles Morales, released on PC. And so did the original Marvel Spider-Man. And I also Returnal most recently just released. That was a PlayStation exclusive, and
That was
now
a good
that
game
is on
too.
PC.
That was a good game too.
Yes, Returnal is fire. I love that game.
But
Um,
what you got to remember, man, I mean, how many of those, I mean, other than Spider-Man, how many of Sony's exclusive titles are really drawing? There's a couple. I mean, they have amazing first parties. That's the big draw with Sony, right? Like you're right about that. However, if Microsoft gets this acquisition and it's legit and it goes through, then Microsoft has now bought its way into that discussion with Bethesda and Activate, like with they've bought their way in because they have that bank. They can do that. So, of course, Sony's going to complain because they don't want to give up that number one spot. And that's exactly what they're going to be fighting over again if
well,
Microsoft gets
see
all this. And they haven't had to
the
fight for it for a while.
so like I understand that Sony doesn't want them to have Activision. I understand that, but their only point of argument so far has been about specifically Call of Duty. They haven't mentioned anything else that Activision own on this list. World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Candy Crush, Star. They haven't mentioned. They haven't mentioned any of these. They haven't mentioned anything except for Call of Duty. That's been because so they think that Call of Duty has been their main point of draw for years, apparently, because obviously we know Call of Duty has had rights, I guess, exclusivity rights for Call of Duty since like I think 2016, I want to say, around that era. So they're fighting because I guess they think that Xbox, which is it's a valid reason. They think that Xbox is going to make Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox /
Wouldn't
Microsoft or
you?
whatever. Say again?
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you do that? I would.
No.
If I was Mr. Phil Spencer, I would tell him, and look, this is how you do it. You give them a little taste. You always give them that first little taste, right? First couple years or
Right.
something like that. And then what
Mm-hmm.
happens? You lock that shit down. You make them come back, make them go to you for the product. And how many people, year after year, they do the same thing with EA and Madden and FIFA and all. You iterate a little bit, but year after year, these casuals come back to playing Call of Duty, and that's like the only game they play.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna end up locking them down, and then boom, you have a infinite amount of revenue because they pump it out every year. Still, it's
Yes.
still annual, right?
Every single year.
Boom, there you go. You every year you pump one of those out is guaranteed sales, guaranteed bank every year. So I'm willing to bet if they lock this down first few years, it won't be exclusive. But if they're smart, they will lock that shit down real quick to bring people into
I
their
definitely
ecosystem.
I can definitely see that, but I really hope they're not foolish in thinking that people are gonna buy Xboxes to play COD. I really hope not, because
How much you want to
most
bet
people
they
nowadays
will?
are getting PC. Most people nowadays are getting PCs. If you,
Casuals.
I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, casuals. If you're not that into, if you're not hardcore and you don't have a piece, then sure, some people are probably gonna buy Xbox or a Series X or Series S. Um, but majority of people, and I would say I think if I'm not mistaken, casual is the majority. As
Mm-hmm.
far as gaming is concerned. Like there's a lot more casual gamers than
100%.
hardcore. Um so like sure, I would assume that, casual gamers probably would get an Xbox. But the issue is why would they get an Xbox to play one game?
Because they really like
And
that
that
Why do
would
they?
be
game, bro.
Call of Duty.
Exactly, because they love that game because they buy it every year.
Year.
What you got to remember is you got to take yourself out of your own brain. Your own brain. You're a hardcore gamer. I'm a hardcore gamer, but I'm a strange guy where I grew up playing games. I grew up playing games. I've always been a gamer, but at the same time, I got a grown job where I go out and I do my thing. I come home. I still have to do all this shit here at the house. I'm a dad. I don't get to game the way I used to when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but I do as much as I can. I still find myself in the ecosystem. In my heart, like to think I'm a, huge gamer. Not everybody's like that. When people get older, most of the time people drop out of that shit. And what they do is they keep coming back to the one thing that they know. And that tends to be Call of Duty or Madden or FIFA. Why do you think these sports games never really change? Or WWE? They hardly ever change because the
Yep.
people keep buying it. The casual people, they don't pay attention to the news the way we do. They don't pay attention to anything other than when's it coming out? What is it coming out on? Okay, cool. I'm going to get that. Every year. They do it every year. So I guarantee you, if Microsoft locks that down, they're going to look at it and say, when does it come out? What does it come out on? Oh, I don't have that. I'm going to have to get that.
I mean, I can definitely see that. Raul, you had some.
No, I was just gonna say he's got a point. It's just like how everybody buys Madden, bro. You know, every freaking year, bro. All it is a roster update, a change in the overalls, and a little bit of a graphic update, and that's it. That's literally it. And people still freaking buy that game.
At this point, they could release one game and then just every season have a DLC update to just change the season, change the rosters, change the uniforms if that changes, or
Yep.
like minor changes, right? And keep the gameplay. But they don't. And why don't they? Because everybody's still going to buy the same thing over and over
Yep.
again.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't
No, that's
have
true.
to. They will only change if you hit them with their wallet. You hit them in the bank. That's why they changed Assassin's Creed when they did, remember?
Yeah.
Because they were annualized. And what happened when they really started screwing up, when all these glitches and everything, and it started looking bad, people stopped buying it. They started looking real bad. So
You
they
know what else? You
stopped
know what else
and
is
they pulled it
crazy
back.
about that? You know what else is crazy about that?
What you got?
Ubisoft slash PlayStation thought it would be okay for this new PS Plus revamp. They thought it would be okay to drop like 15 different Assassin's Creed games on our
Yep.
forehead in one night without telling
Yep.
anybody, which is crazy because they thought it would be okay to drop all those Assassin's Creed games and then have two other no-name games that nobody has ever heard of before in that list. That pissed me off. I
Well,
will tell
see,
you
I
right
was
now,
talking
Sony
about
pissed me
before
off with
even
that shit.
that.
Say again?
Well, to me, I was talking about when they were doing like Brotherhood and Unity and
Oh
all
my
of those.
god.
They took a huge hit because they started coming out real bad. So what they did was they pulled back and they just started going like one every other year. They had Origins, and then they had the one in ancient Greece, and then they had Valhalla. Like
Valhalla,
one
yeah.
every couple years they started doing it
Odyssey. I think that's the one you're
because
thinking.
that's what it was,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But that they had to pull back. They had to tweak it because people weren't buying these annualized, trashed, broken games anymore. So you hit them in the bank, and they fixed it and they changed it. To me, that was just Sony trying to catch up with Microsoft because Microsoft is they're playing from behind, so they're able to do these release day and date with their number one games and stuff like that with these new games. Sony's not going to do that. So what they're doing is they're trying to add value to their competition to Microsoft's. What is it called? Game Pass. That's what
Yeah.
Sony's trying to
Mm-hmm.
do. So of course they're going to take all these Assassin's Creed games and throw it on that system because they want you to invest in that system. That's the best
Yeah,
thing
I mean
they got right now.
that definitely makes sense. It just like it really bothered me. And it was another thing that Sony did that I predicted and I knew they were gonna do it. You know, so when PlayStation 5 first released, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it. Even Raul, like you probably heard of it. They had what's called the PlayStation Plus collection,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and it consisted of like several different titles, like a lot of PlayStation hits that they call them. You know, they had The Last of Us on there. They had Days Gone on there. They had
Uncharted.
Resident Evil 7,
Yeah.
Uncharted. They had all these different hits from PlayStation, all under one umbrella. It never got updated. For one, the same games that came out when the console release had still been out 2 years later. Now, PlayStation decides that they want to get rid of the PlayStation Collection. When they made that announcement, I said, "How much you want to bet the next time they update the new PS Plus, like all the PS Plus revamp, the next time that they
Mhm.
update and drop new games, how much you want to bet at least one or two of these games is gonna be on that list?" Guess what? Last month they put Resident Evil Biohazard on there.
Yep.
And I swear to God, I screamed so loud because I knew they were gonna do it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Why
They
are
could
they
have
doing it
thrown
though?
any game in the place of Resident Evil Biohazard, and they
Mhm.
chose that game that was already on PS Plus collection.
Why
Any
are they
game.
doing it though? Come on now. Why are they doing it?
They're idiots, man.
No, no. You can call them a lot of
In my
things.
heart,
They're
they're
trying to
idiots. No,
compete.
they're
Oh
no,
yeah, yeah. I know what
they're
you
no,
mean.
they're being smart. I know what they're doing. I
Yeah,
know what they're doing. It just
you can't begrudge them for it. I mean, you can get mad at them. That's totally valid, but you can't hate what they're doing. They're literally playing ahead. They don't have to offer you these games for free like they were. They don't have to do that anymore. They did that initially to try and bring people in, and it worked. Well, now that they're
mm-hmm.
in, They don't have to offer it anymore. They're already ahead. They're already winning. Xbox is willing to help the consumer out so much because they're working from behind. They're playing catch up. They're playing the long game, and it might end up helping them in the next iteration of these consoles. We'll see. But as of right now, they're still playing from behind.
No, it's true. I just wanted to vocally, express my feelings about how I felt saying Resident Evil 7 Biohazard on that list.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because I remember I was in a party of my, because I always, when the game's released, I always make sure I go and check to see, what they threw on there. And
Yeah.
I was scrolling through, and I was like, something is really, really familiar about this list. And I was like, I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like I've seen one of these games before on the PlayStation Plus collection. Oh, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which I just finished about a month prior, by the way. So, it was just, PlayStation, y'all are some
They're
conniving,
dirty.
sneaky
dirty.
little bastards.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like when it's why I got pissed off and I stopped playing Destiny, bro. Cause like, why buy the fucking DLC when they would just put it out 3 months later in a fucking new complete game, and it's like, cool, you can get Destiny 2 with like all the other DLC and stuff, and it's like
That I was
Plus,
just
Destiny 2
talking
just
about
became
that
too
about
much
the
of a
world
bug.
of assassination. What about all the people that they went and they bought the first Hitman game and all the DLC?
yeah,
They bought the second Hitman game and all the DLC. Hell, even the third
Mm-hmm.
one. And then what happened? I took advantage of it because I didn't buy any of them motherfuckers. What happened? They ended up combining all the DLC
Yep.
and all of the games into one price. And guess what? I bought that bitch on sale. So people that went out and invested all their money in all those games and all the DLC, they probably paid more for all three of those games than I did.
Yep.
I mean,
I would only assume.
It's real anti-consumer. But you know what? That's
That's how
how
they
it
get their
is.
money.
money. It makes them money.
Yeah, man.
And that's
Mhm.
and that's honestly at the end of the day, that's what Microsoft and Sony care about the most, man. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it may seem arbitrary, but like that one little game that they love so much is the one that's gonna make them the most money. And it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
they're gonna fight
That's true.
They
until the
wanna
literal last end, bro.
they wanna put the least amount of effort for the most return. Whatever
That's
they
true.
can do.
That's true. Speaking of putting the least amount of effort put up for the most return,
Nice.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu lands a direct sequel.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Oh,
surprised
boy.
it took this long.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, have you guys seen Pokemon Detective Pikachu?
Fuck
I
yeah, I
haven't.
did. Fuck
I
yeah.
own that game or that movie. I'll tell you what, that movie has no business being as good as it is. That is a good movie. It is fun. It is funny. And if you're a Pokemon fan, it's got a ton of stuff in there that'll make you laugh.
My favorite
It's
part,
good.
dude. My favorite part is still when he's on top of the Tortura, and somehow like Ryan Reynolds goes, I don't know, this might have something to do with global warming.
Yeah.
It
Mine was
fucking
always
dies.
when they were interrogating Mr. Mime. That that
Oh,
always killed me. I can watch
yeah.
that with my kid, and we both love it. Like that, I'm genuinely surprised that it took this long. I thought they were gonna go, the Sonic 2 route. Like, hey,
Yeah.
it was a huge hit. It was much better than it should have been. Pump out another one.
Yep. I love that movie. I really like
Yeah,
that movie.
same. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen it in its entirety, but I will say from where I did get, I don't know what's wrong, man. I just cannot finish movies nowadays. I don't know what's wrong with me, but from where I did get, I definitely did like it. Unfortunately, I didn't grow up with
yeah.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
So I can't really like relate to a lot of the things that they were. There's probably some Easter eggs. Some things I probably missed. But I mean, obviously, I know the Pokemon that people cock ride nowadays. And have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, people love Pikachu. People
Yeah.
love Charizard. People love Uh, I say my favorite, and people hate me for it. My favorite Pokemon of all time is Bellsprout. I don't give a fuck. You can eat my ass. Argue with your mama. I love Bellsprout with a passion.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is that Ditto is one of your favorites. Go on, man.
No.
I'm
Not
OG
that.
red and blue Pokemon, man. That's how far back I go. I
Oh my
remember watching the
god. So
anime after school. So
yeah.
yeah,
So you mean like So you mean like
Charizard,
the original?
Bulbasaur. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Well,
The original, the
the original
OG.
EB.
53.
That's how
Yeah,
far back I go. Yeah, man.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Kanto. He's only
Bulbasaur.
Kanto, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And in
Yeah.
fairness,
Damn.
those are the only two that I've ever actually played.
Damn.
Wait, if you don't mind me asking, Tony, how old are you?
How old do you think I am?
This is gonna
I
be
don't
great.
know. You
Oh,
know,
it's gonna be
I
great.
feel like
He's
you're
he's not.
older
He's
than
just a
Roll.
little older than Brad, bro. He's just a little older than Brad.
I am? I'm older than Brad? I didn't know that. I thought me and Brad were about the same age.
No, Brad's fucking uh 36.
Damn.
Brad's
All right.
36.
So,
Yes.
Hey, bitch!
all right. So,
The full Kevin Hart. Damn!
If I remember correctly, Tony, I think Tony is the same age as Brad, or he might be.
I'm 37.
37. Yep, he's 1 year older
Yeah,
than
yeah,
Brad.
yeah.
I'm
Damn.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Bitch.
Full Kevin Hart.
I have every time I ask someone like their age or someone brings up their age, I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
I cry every time I see that. Just damn. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it the way you think I meant it, man.
I mean, Keon, you're pretty young too, man. I mean, what's it called? You're pretty young. On Wednesday, I'm turning 26, man. So, time just catches up to all of us, bro. And
Damn.
Tony,
All right, so yeah,
I know.
listen, man. I'm glad that this movie, Detective Pikachu, is getting a sequel.
who's directing
I know
it?
a lot of people, huh?
Who's directing it?
Portlandia,
I was gonna say, right?
co-creator Jonathan Creasel is in negotiations to direct the Pokemon Detective Pikachu live action sequel, according to Deadline. So Jonathan Creasel.
Oh, I never watched anything different. I mean, I've never seen Portlandia either. I mean, I've always heard of Portlandia, never watched it. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that should be very interesting. I'm like I said, I'm glad that this is getting a sequel because I know a lot of people said that they love it. I need to finish it actually. Same with Sonic because I never did finish Sonic. I got halfway through it,
Oh.
dude. I think you know what it is. I think I just get distracted.
No, you
I
do,
really
bro.
do just get
You do.
distracted. Like, dude, it's these kids, man. I'm fucking telling you, bro. Whenever I'm doing something important, they come knocking on my door, and then I forget what I'm doing for like the rest of the day, bro.
I'm
Like,
looking for the blood pressure machine, right? Yep. So why the fuck would I have that in here? For those of you who
man.
don't know, Keon lives in a house with like 10 kids or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah.
his. They're not his.
No, they're not mine. They're not mine.
Are you my daddy?
Yeah. Those
What
are
do we
10
say when we meet a nice stranger?
Yeah, no,
Those
listen,
are 10
man.
kids that are definitely not Keon's. The
No.
other ones, I don't know, but that's Keon's business.
See, now you're making it seem like they are. You're like they're definitely not his.
No, they're
Don't.
Oh.
not mine. They're not mine. I have no children whatsoever. That is no
That you
child
know
support
of,
from
that you know of.
that I know of. I
Better
have no
knock on
child
wood.
support to dodge. So,
God.
so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. We probably won't be on.
Dodge.
Great.
we
Talk
probably
about a game that has overstayed its welcome, where people buy it
bro,
multiple times and they still play it, even though there's literally just patch updates every freaking 4 months. But people love
dude.
GTA Online, bro.
GTA Online once again. It's interesting because I saw 50 Cent made a post on Instagram saying that he was doing something. He had a project going on, and on the picture that he used for the post was a picture of Vice City. It was like a one of the screen grabs from Vice City,
Hmm.
which apparently with the GTA 6 leak that happened last year, apparently that is where GTA 6 is going to be taking place.
Yep.
But also we got fooled by this last time when Dr. Dre was announced to be working on a project for Grand Theft Auto. We thought that Dr. Dre possibly could have been doing something for GTA 6. Turns out it was another damn update for GTA 5 Online. This, yo, when I can't put into words how sick I am of this game. Now, I will say this.
Hey, we play
The
on
only
easy.
reason, the only reason why I've been into GTA recently is because GTA RP carries this damn game
Yeah, it does.
on its back. Truly. I have seen some amazing things come out of GTA RP that you wouldn't even dream of seeing in a GTA Online lobby. I'm telling you, a GTA Online lobby may as well be Chernobyl, because you can't do anything. Like, especially as a new player, you can't do
Yeah.
anything. It basically is a full-time job if you want to buy anything. It's an entire, trust me, a couple of years ago, I had got back into GTA Online, and I promise you, I was addicted for like 3 months because I couldn't stop. I couldn't get rid of wanting to grind money on the game.
Yep.
Virtual currency
Not
to
real
buy
currency.
virtual vehicles that were just going to get virtually blown up by a flying motorcycle. So I'm done with GTA Online, but I am not done with GTA RP. I love it so much. So,
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Keon, I am still broke as shit in GTA RP. I have not recovered from being robbed gunpoint at a bank, and they took $30,000 out of my fucking account. So yeah, man, that's what my GTA RP experience is still as right now. I still have like
oh,
about, I believe I have like $2,000 in that game, and that's more than I have in my current bank account, real life.
nah, man, you just gotta go to another server at that point. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
Well,
you know what I'm
I'm waiting
saying.
for you to find me a goddamn server because I can't find shit.
Dude, I need to. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, Tony. So how do you? I just want to know your general thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Uh, I loved it. What 10 years ago when it came out? The game was really good. I played the remaster when it went to PlayStation 4, and you could go first person.
Mm-hmm.
When GTA Online first came out, Uh, I remember vividly having my little brother, who was playing online at the time, tell me to go pick him up at a corner store because his car had blown up. I went and picked him up, and the moment I picked him up, I wasn't thinking anything, just 5 fucking stars. He had just robbed that store and shot someone. He goes, "We got to get the fuck out of here." I was like, "Oh, damn." I remember dropping into the military base, stealing the jet, and
Yep.
then just, you know, shooting at my cousins. And like it was fun at the time, and then they started adding in all this grind and all this stuff to make people, like, push people towards spending real money on it and everything. and I dropped out. I stopped playing it at that point because it's one of those where I'm not about that. I don't. Not about to dump my real world money into a game like that. I don't begrudge anyone for doing it, unless they're addicted, which that's exactly what they're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
with the endorphins and everything they're trying to get you.
Oh,
But I mean,
I
do
never spent
yourself
a
a
dime
favor.
on this shit, bro.
Google how much
You,
they make every month off of GTA Online, and you'll find out real quick why they keep updating it
Yep.
oh
and why
yeah,
they shut
and
down.
you know,
What is it? Why they shut down R
Red
two
Dead Redemption.
whatever. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. Why they shut that down the way they did because they weren't making that same money for the same amount of effort.
They thought they'd get the same result by making a game that's
Yep.
I'm sorry, Red Dead doesn't have that following that like where
No,
there's
it
the
doesn't.
GTA that
It
GTA
is.
has.
It's a better game, but it doesn't have the following.
Oh, 100%.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Red Dead 2
And
is way better than GTA 5.
It's
oh,
one of the best games.
of course. Red Dead Two. I think, if I'm not mistaken, was nominated for Game of the Year the year it came out. So, yeah, Red Dead Two is amazing, but it's because like people just aren't interested in like the old western. That's
Slowing
why
things down.
so many games that are like in the past. I would say past like the Cold War are probably like not as favored. Like people, I would say the worst games. And I'm just gonna bring up Call of Duty for instance because their worst games in like the past 5 years have both been World War related. Like recently, Call of Duty Vanguard, people hated that damn game, absolutely hated it. Of course, they bought it because it's COD, but they hated it.
Hmm.
And then again, like probably 3 years before that, Call of Duty World War II, people didn't enjoy that game that much because it. People think that they want World War style game, and then they get it and they realize this is not really that appealing.
It's well
It's just
tread already.
Yeah.
singing.
It's well tread already. I mean, that's where COD started out. I mean,
Yeah.
they were doing World
Yeah.
War Two. The big. I remember the big change was the Battlefield One. Like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
we're
Mm-hmm.
doing a World War, but we're doing World War One. And I
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
mean, that was the big change. But that, I mean, they've already done D-Day. They've already done. I mean, I don't know.
They've
To
done
me,
pretty much.
the one that actually had me interested was the I think it was 6 Days in Fallujah or whatever, but that had a whole bunch of controversy around it because
Oh yeah.
yeah, like real if the tricky thing is if you're going to do real world battles, which they're doing World War Two, doing World War One, that was almost 100 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I mean that
Yeah.
our grandparents fought in that war, our great grandparents, whatever, right? They all fought in that war, and a lot of them are either dead, dying. They don't really
Rest in
have a
peace to
lot to
dead
say.
homies.
For real, I mean, help bring, whatever, like however you want to look at it. The great generation that fought in World War Two, the ones that literally saved the world. But then
What?
beyond that, what do you have? You have Desert Storm, you have Somalia. I mean, if you're talking about like American stuff, you have Vietnam, but that's still fresh for a lot of people. So you get into a lot of controversy once you start dealing with real world events that affect real world people that are actually potentially into these games and everything. That's when you get into a lot of controversy,
And I
Mm-hmm.
remember
and
seeing the
it's
leaks, man. I remember seeing a leak
yeah.
like a long time ago that they were gonna do a Vietnam game, and then obviously the one that they ended up announcing was Vanguard, and oh, where's the Vietnam game y'all were gonna do? Like that was gonna be, but
Oh, I think you're confused with Cold War.
Cold War.
That's
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it was Cold War because I
Cold War
That
remember.
one
only.
interested me. I
Uh,
remember hearing that because that's an interesting concept. But they just all they did was they codified it,
Yep.
just COD.
yeah,
Like that
yeah.
was it. But it had an interesting concept because
Yeah.
The
I know
Cold War
Raul.
is not something that they've done.
What's up,
Raul,
Kia?
yo, I remember the days of leading up to Cold War and even past it, bro. Raul was trashing on the game like consistently, bro. I've never seen such consistent like trash talk on a video game since Battlefield 2042 when that shit came out, and I was trash talking every other
Oh,
day. So you know,
I
but
can't even remember what exactly I was mad about, but yeah, I think it was pretty like.
you were just, I think it was like, I think it was just like, I don't know, just COD in general. But you were saying like, oh, let's try to make the U.S. seem like the good guys, or whatever. It was something.
Yeah.
It was
It's
something.
like, oh, cool. Let's go. We're not gonna get the levels in the Cold War game where the U.S. is in Bosnia, right? You know, and they're doing all that shit in
Yeah.
Bosnia, right?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
it
No, I
was.
remember
That's what it
now.
was.
Yeah, I was like, man, fuck
Yeah.
this revisionist history bullshit ass stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. No, you're
Yeah.
not gonna get to
So.
see the stuff where fucking, all the Yugoslavian wars, right? None of that, right? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So that was funny.
Yeah. All the
But
Latin America,
COD is just Michael Bay movies in video game form.
Yep.
It's
that is
American
facts.
exceptionalism.
Oh my god,
You're
I've
gonna see an
actually
American
never
flag. You're gonna
heard.
see explosions. That's all it is. It's Michael Bay movies in video game form.
Mhm.
There's no
That is such a
complexity.
good analogy. Wow. I will say though, the most recent game, at least the campaign, fuck the multiplayer. The campaign I think was phenomenal. Modern Warfare 2.
I never got to play
Oh,
that.
that was they remade it, right? It wasn't. Was it like the original one or no?
No, it was
Well,
a
it's
new
it's a reboot. It's an entire reboot. Cause you
Okay,
know
that's
how
what it
in
was. Okay,
2019 they had
yeah,
Modern
Modern
Warfare.
Warfare,
yeah, they
which
rebooted it.
technically it's not really even a reboot because okay, the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare was Call of Duty 4
4. Yeah.
Modern Warfare.
Hmm.
This
Yeah, I
is
remember.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare in 2019. So technically, it's not
They've
really
taken the
a
four
reboot.
out.
It's just, yeah, it's just they just took the 4 out. But yeah, so
Standalone. Gotcha.
this is still the same universe. It has like the same characters, Price, um, Ghost, Soap,
So
like all these
yeah,
characters.
I
It's
gotcha.
just it's just still it's
Yeah.
just a reboot.
Modern
But
Warfare 2 was with that one chick that you were asking me to translate what she was saying in Spanish, right? Because you said she was like really
yes,
hot and stuff.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Keon was like, "Where's she
And
saying
you
this?
went somewhere there.
Yeah. Keon was like,
I
"Where's
He's
she?"
did.
like,
I just
yeah,
pictured her
yeah.
face as soon. I pictured her as soon as Raul said it, and I just, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They made a very good villain in that game. A very good female villain. I love her. I love her.
Yeah. Keon was like,
Um,
Okay,
"Yeah." Like
okay,
she's
okay.
screaming like, "I like that." She goes, like, "What's she
yeah, I was
saying?"
like, you know what I'm saying. She can scream at me
Gotcha.
like that. Yeah. Anyway, so
I know
yeah,
what you
we'll
mean.
move on. Cause I'm kind of going somewhere mentally that I really don't want to be right now.
Okay, dial it
Not
back.
with
Not
us
Dial it
at
back.
not in
least.
4K. Say again,
Unfortunately.
Tony.
Not with us at least.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Hands up.
so next we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor
Fuck.
sequel
Yes.
planned but not promised.
That's the way it should be.
Interesting.
Oh,
We haven't
man,
even
I'm
gotten
so
Jedi Survivor yet.
yeah.
That's the way it
I'm ready
should
for
be,
this game,
though.
bro. I'm ready for this
Yeah,
game.
same.
Yeah. Like
I am too.
I'm playing this shit. Like I know I don't play a lot of games, but I played Fallen Order. Fucking love Fallen Order. I'm ready for Jedi Survivor. Like I really want to play this game. Uh, and yeah, I mean if they have a plan, yeah. But go, Keon. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, we haven't even got Jedi Survivor yet, and they're so sure that this game is going to do phenomenally, which I'm expecting it to because Fallen Order is fantastic. Jedi Survivor, I don't think will be any different. So I'm not surprised that they're expecting this game to do well. Um, but you know, the sequel's planned. It's not promised, but I can guarantee you, once Jedi Survivor comes out, it's gonna be promised. Probably the next 5 months after release. So, but I'm gonna get y'all's thoughts on this because I know a lot of people. I personally haven't. I'm gonna finish Fallen Order. I've just been playing so many, dude. I've been
Yeah.
playing so many games. When I get tired of one, I just go to another one, and then I start like trying to finish that one up. And then if I get
Yeah.
tired, I've been playing so many games, bro. Like I'm also in the middle of the Harry Potter Hogwarts game. Um, I've been playing uh I've been playing Outriders.
Mm.
I've been playing um. You got
I'm
something, roll?
yeah. I'm gonna ask Tony this, and I probably will go back to the topic here, but because I asked you, Keon, but I want to hear it from Tony. Tony, I don't know if you know, but you know me. I don't care about Harry Potter. I don't freaking care about Harry Potter. I don't really like Harry Potter all that much. As somebody who doesn't care about Harry Potter, what do you think this game will? What's it called? Like, is it
Catch you?
fun for? Get me? Yeah.
I mean, it depends. It is the most Harry Potter game that you could possibly imagine while not being Harry Potter. It is a completely new story, unique. It brings elements of the books and the movies, and you can every every minute in this game is just dripping with love of the series.
Okay.
And
Except for the
uh,
fact that there is no damn Quidditch. Hello?
that they did that for a reason, I guarantee you. Imagine how long it would have taken them to integrate an entire Quidditch system in there. And to me, it's one of those like at least get the base game out first, nail that, which they did, and then the next game they come out with, I'm pretty sure they're going to have Quidditch in there because they already have the base.
Well,
Now
they
they can
announced
just
that
add on
multiplayer is
stuff.
coming.
Re- Is that
Like
for
like
sure? Or is
last
that
month.
like a okay?
No, it
I
was.
didn't see that it was for sure. I saw like fans were talking about they were going to bring it on. I didn't see that it was a for sure thing. But
Let me see.
to me, I feel like next game they're going to have Quidditch. Next game they're going to add, add enemy variety because that to me was the biggest thing is enemy variety. I mean, when you first start out, you're going to fight a troll, you're going to fight spiders, you're going to fight dark wizards, and you're going to fight goblins. And guess what you're going to fight at the end of the game? You're going to fight trolls, you're going to fight goblins, you're going to fight dark wizards, you're going to fight spiders. Like, there's little to no enemy variety in the entire game. So I think that was probably the biggest hit is especially like once you get to know their weaknesses because each you know each thing you fight has its own little weakness. Once you figure that out, you're golden. You're good.
Yeah, yeah,
The
that's
hey,
true.
the troll slams the club down, hit it with flipendo that thing, and boom, smashes the face. The frog is about to throw its tongue at you. Do the Limgardium Leviosa or whatever. Pull
Mm-hmm.
it up and then slice it. Like once you get the attack pattern down, you're good. Like
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think it is worth playing because even if you don't like Harry
Oh,
Potter, it has a ton of stuff in there, and it is fun. The open world is very well lived in.
oddly
Oddly
enough, the
enough,
Dark
dark wizards
Wizards,
are weak to drag race. Fucking Stacy.
bro, Stacy. Oh
Stop
my
it.
god,
Stop it.
man, Stacy.
Oh my god.
How does he? How, bro? Y'all were talking about me coming up with these ridiculous and how does he? How does he had these random associations that just make sense? And it's the
Because you
okay.
used to be a radio host. That's why.
Really?
Because you
And
have
in
to come up.
fairness,
Yeah.
it's not exactly random. It's
No.
not hard to put 1 to 2 in this scenario.
Yeah. It's
Bro,
because you used
It's
to be a
not
damn radio
exactly A
host.
to Z. This is A to B.
A
This
to
is like
B.
boom, boom.
Oh
It's
this
man.
there.
guy, man.
But hey man, I'm so look, man. If they don't want to announce a sequel, that's fine. They like I always say, be patient. Let us know, like what's it called, when it's ready. It's gonna be ready, and I don't need to rush it. If the story is there to see where we can go after, the Jedi Survivor. For now, my eyes are completely set on Jedi Survivor. That's what I care about right now.
And that's
Okay.
the way they should be with the game. You need to make the game like closed off. A one game. That way, if it doesn't do what you think it's gonna do, you're not leaving some open-ended thing. Boom, it's closed off. But you have enough teas. You have enough to where if you want to make more, if you know where you could take the story, good. You can do that if you're able to.
Yeah,
But you make a complete, rounded off story and you release that. And if people love it and they support it, then you can move on. I'm right there with you. They need to do that with movies. They need to do that with games. They need to do that with everything.
with
Give me
books,
a
with everything.
complete story.
Yep. None of this like, oh, this is kind of a complete story, but then you gotta buy like three
Yeah.
DLCs, because you want to finish the story, right? Fuck it.
Well,
God.
no, I mean, to me, like, funny enough, circling back with The Last of Us, to me, The Last of Us, The Last of Us is a perfect example of that, where the first game came out and you got hints of what happened with Ellie. I don't remember if you even heard Riley's name in the original game,
No, I don't think
but
so.
then, like for me, I have the American Dreams comic book that was coming out alongside it, so I knew who Riley was from the comic. And then
Mm.
they released Left Behind,
Okay.
and Left Behind, I mean, it wasn't needed, but man, was it good. It
Yeah,
it,
but I'm
it
more so
gave you
like,
that extra, to me, where
yeah,
getting it, you got a more well-rounded story with Ellie
story.
at that point. You could really, to me, that's how you do it.
And
Or
and Left
you could do
Behind
it
came out.
completely different the way Far Cry 3 did, where you have Far Cry 3, great game, probably arguably the best Far Cry game that they've ever done. And then you just go fucking balls to the wall bonkers with Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which is arguably the best DLC of all time. It is just
Mm.
bonkers, dumb, fun, lasers, and super 80s action movie. It is just out there and the best. You could
Yeah,
do it that way too.
I was asking Tony. Left Behind only came out in the remaster, right?
No.
It
Left
was
No.
Behind came out originally with the original game. When they
okay.
Mm.
remastered it for PlayStation 4, they packaged it as one, I want to say.
Yeah,
And then
they
I'm not
did.
sure how they did it with the remake. Did they include Left Behind with the remake? Because to me at this point, it's
The
part
Now,
of the
full
main
story?
story.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm actually not sure about
I
the
don't have the
remake.
remake
I
yet.
haven't seen
Uh,
anything about the remake. Or as far as the Left Behind DLC is concerned. So what I'm thinking is they probably just left behind the DLC
how dare
and
you?
and
How dare you? That was a
Fucking dare.
dad joke if I've ever heard one.
I'm
How
so
fucking dare you, sir?
I'm so sorry.
How
Uh,
dare you?
I'm thinking that they left behind the
And you
DLC
knew too with that grin. They
and
left
ju-
behind. Left behind. You get it? You get it?
I'm guessing they just left this DLC by itself and just released the game like the remake of the the
Yeah.
base game.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, you know what's it called? At least they didn't do what fucking Assassin's Creed did back in the day, right? You know, Brotherhood and Revelations were what's it called? Single releases, and it's like, motherfucker, these are DLCs, bro.
These are
Why the
DLCs, bro.
fuck are you
Dude,
putting this
when
shit out? These are DLCs.
you know what? Let
That
me
goes
not.
back to what I was saying
because
earlier.
let me not. Yeah. So you since we're on the topic actually of The Last of Us,
Good transition.
have you been watching The Last of Us
Damn
HBO?
straight he has. Damn straight he has.
Yeah, I have. Yep.
So what are your thoughts so far, Tony? Because I feel like we I feel like we should definitely get your thoughts because you haven't been on the reviews. Um, so
I'm fucking stalking.
I think, honestly, this is probably, without seeing the last two episodes, this is probably the best video game adaptation I've ever seen. Just period, full stop.
I agree.
I kind of the same thing I was saying about the Harry Potter thing. Every minute of this show is dripping with love of the source material. I feel like where they are able to do a one-to-one adaptation, they have with the speech that Ellie gave to Joel, not Abby, Riley and Ellie dancing on that glass, right? Where they're able to adapt it one to one, they've done a beautiful job. There have been moments like in the first couple episodes where they have given us a bit of expository information. I'll tell you, the opening of episode 1 is one of the best things that they've done, adding in context of the guy from the freaking 80s warning everybody about it. That was just mind-blowing. That gave me chills. I loved it. Episode 2, where they did essentially the same thing you saw where the outbreak first started. Exactly. And that woman's reaction when the guy was like, what do we do? And she's like, bomb it. Bomb it. Like, just bomb everything. And they're like, okay, what do you want? She's like, let me go. I want to go spend time with my family. Because she knew it was over. Like, she knew. You could tell right there. Like, the acting in that entire scene just blew me away. And then from episode 1 to this episode, Bella Ramsey has done both of them have done an amazing job making the characters their own. They're not the same characters as they were in the game. Bella is a different Ellie. She's more prone to violence. She's not as innocent to me. I think they're doing an excellent job working in the context of the entire story so far. Whereas in the game, they didn't have the context of the second game to work with, where they were just working on creating this game. As well as I do, Keon, what they're doing when they set up some of these things. When
I know
Ellie
exactly
is prone to violence, when she doesn't shy away from it as much. Like they're just straight up showing us Jackson. And what was it last episode? Just straight up showing us Jackson. Whereas in the first game, they hinted at it. You saw Tommy at the dam and everything, but you didn't see his settlement. They just showed. Come on. Are you going to tell me when homegirl over there by the beam? Come on now. How did you react? I flipped my shit. I looked at my wife, and both of us were like, "Oh, that's who it was, right?"
No, you know the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Come on now.
You know the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio like pointing at the screen. I was like, when that happened, I was like,
"Yep, that's her, right?
It's her. It's absolutely."
When Riley and her were coming down the escalator and they were playing "Take on Me," Did that not hit you in the heart a little bit?
No,
That
I'm
scene,
joking. Yes, it
He
did.
did.
I'm joking. It
that
did. It did.
scene got me because that scene is one of those scenes where I mean you can completely miss it in the second game. You can completely miss it, not even know it was in there if you do not go in the right direction. If you don't go into that room, but to have that context, oh man. What worries me is we're already at the tail end of the game. We got David and his group with Troy Baker, boy. He looks like he's going to be featured in it pretty heavy. And then immediately after this, you have the hospital, man. Do you get the giraffes? That's a question. Are we getting the giraffes?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah, we
know.
got the
Come on.
monkeys, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That was my thing. I think we're getting the giraffes. I think after what happens in this next episode, I think we have to.
What the fuck?
I think we have to get the giraffes because it's all part of Ellie being recentered. Because what she goes through in this next episode, if they do what they hinted at in the game, then it's heavy. And this is going to be the first time we really see Joel.
Which one?
If we see, this is going to be the first episode we see Joel really, really turn into that ugly Joel that we keep hearing about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
think so
can't
as well.
wait with that knife.
Yep.
Um,
Stacy says, I don't know. As short as this series is, a 3-episode arc with Joel dying and respawning in the same spot was a choice. Fuck you, Stacy.
you know,
Man, every
that
time
actually.
they
So
start scavenging, looking through
yeah,
the
I was
the
actually.
drawers and everything, it makes me laugh every time.
I told Raul this on one of the reviews we did for one of the episodes. My biggest gripe with this show is there's not enough cursing at the clickers.
Well, you got to be quiet.
Gotta be quiet.
No.
Gotta be quiet, man.
Cursing out of anger.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Forgetting.
No,
Yeah.
I'm right there with
Oh,
you.
yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd be. Oh, fuck.
Well, I'm sorry, not the clickers, the bloaters. Well, no, we've only seen one bloater,
I was
so
gonna
I'll
say
say
we've only
clicker and
seen the one
bloaters.
big boy.
Yeah. Dude, I tell you, I would definitely say this. Whenever clickers are around, this show does such a fantastic job of making me feel that exact same fear that I felt when I was playing the game. Whenever clickers are around, bro, I cover my mouth.
You know the one thing I wish they did, and it's there in the game, and I mean I can kind of understand how they would have an issue doing it. Is in the game, if you sneak up on someone that's relatively freshly infected, that question that they keep asking in the show is answered. Like when you sneak up on someone who's freshly infected in the game, you hear them crying. You hear them talking to, like, it's almost like they're talking to the infection. Like, please, I don't want to do this. Please, no, kill me. Like they're in there. They're trapped in their own body, and the infection is making them do this. I wish that they had more. I wish that there was a way that they could show that. And I know that there is, but right now they're fighting against time. They don't have a lot of time right now.
True. I would just say you're along me and Raul in the 1 billion minutes streamed in a week for the first time. That is absolutely insane.
For a video game adaptation, boy.
Dude, 1 billion minutes.
Look, man, this has been
that's
really
everybody and their mama.
Yep, this has been really successful for HBO. And what I don't want is for HBO to be like, okay, we really gotta make the most money out of this. We gotta like get like 9 seasons out of this, and it's like, oh no,
I
no,
don't want
no.
them. I don't want them to do that
Which is
either.
why I'm
Mm,
happy to hear that they're talking about doing part two as 2 seasons at least.
Okay,
That
okay.
that has me excited. But at the same time, I just want me and you. We have to have a conversation about that, Keon. Like you keep laughing every time I bring it up. We're gonna have a
No,
conversation
it's
about that.
just, dude,
But
bro.
man, they just need
It's
to
like
fucking come out with factions already. Like I'm
I
tired of
can't.
waiting on it. I want factions.
My body has like a chemical and physical reaction to hearing anything about The Last of Us Part Two. Like
Hmm.
genuinely, it does. Like
Yeah.
anytime I hear the name, I either like just start laughing to myself or I just start aching.
Oh,
It just, oh man, I'm we'll talk like after the show's done, but I just have like a few comments that I want to say, about it.
Raul,
When
earmuffs.
Raul's not
Go
here
for
because
it.
I don't want him to,
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs, Raul. Go for it, Keon.
But yeah, this show has been very very glad, uh pick uh Kylie, how you doing, Kylie? It's nice to see you.
What's up, Kylie?
Um, I'm really glad that HBO picked up something special, like truly. And I think we kind of all knew that The Last of Us would do well. Not this damn well, though.
It
Honestly,
could.
Oh man,
it yeah, for sure. Um, but
I
I'm
never
just
expected
glad.
this good, bro.
I'm just glad that it's good enough to where there are people that are kind of spreading, their influence, or spreading The Last of Us's influence to people that are probably, because Brad actually has never played the game, and he's enjoying The Last of Us. So, you know, I'm glad. I'm glad to see The Last of Us doing well. It's a fantastic game.
Deserves it, man.
Um,
It does. Let's see what Amazon does with what is it? BioShock.
oh brother.
We'll
Okay.
see. What
Anyway,
Fingers
so
crossed.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. What's it called? I like what they're doing with Lord of the Rings. So you know, not too bad. And they,
I
and
had
at least,
high expectations. They're doing all right.
yeah. It's
okay.
not the
It's
greatest thing
okay.
ever, but I like what they're doing, and what's it called?
It's not
I
like
think
they don't have the money.
exactly. It's not like they don't have the money, and that's the thing. We can dog on Bezos all we want, and the man deserves it. But fuck, does this company actually have taste in shit? Because my god, the stuff that goes up on Amazon Prime is actually good. Like,
No,
Yeah.
that's actually facts,
yeah,
dude.
All
Invincible.
that thieving. All that
Like all,
thieving, man.
bro.
yep, yep. Yes, I think the motherfucker should what's it called be taxed to the fucking fullest extent, and yes, he should be repaying every fucking
But
person in
while
the
he's
world.
not, let's keep giving him money so he can keep giving us this good
Exactly.
quality
2 day free
material to
shipping
watch.
and
Is
more
that
Lord
what
of
you're
the Rings,
saying?
bro.
I
Yeah.
completely understand what you're saying, Raul.
Yep, yep, yep. 100%. Keep giving me good shit and fucking 2 day free shipping.
Who cares if
The
he's got
Boys
pretty
best
much
show.
slave
Is that
labor?
Amazon?
Yes, that is
Yeah,
Amazon. The
man.
Boys is
Damn.
Amazon. Which another fucking example of
I
really good.
rewatched that Soldier Boy fight with Homelander the other day. Oh my
Ah,
god.
oh man,
I
Yo,
gotta watch The Boys,
yo.
man. I gotta
you
Oh
watch
my
need
it.
to,
god.
Keon. My brother's gonna
Are
start
you
watching The
kidding me?
Boys. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta watch The Boys, man.
All right,
Um,
Keon.
but so for our last topic, are you guys familiar with Dead by Daylight by any chance?
Yes, because I've
I've
seen you
played
play it
it
all the
a few
time.
times. It's pretty fun.
Okay, Raul, what are you doing?
I've seen you play it 1,000 times. I've seen Katie and everybody else play it. I've seen friends play it. Yeah. What's it called? No, I never played a minute of this game, but I've seen everybody else play it.
Okay. Well, there is a movie in development, a Dead by Daylight movie in development. from Blumhouse, who, funnily enough, are also developing another video game movie, Five Nights at Freddy's.
For how
That
fucking
movie already
long have
came
they been
out.
doing that? Yeah.
That
For how
movie already came
long?
out. It starred Nicolas Cage, and it was great.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
god!
Willy's Wonderland
Every
or whatever it was
time,
called. Yeah.
every time,
That movie was great. That man had like two
every
or three
time, bro.
lines, and he was just mugging the entire time.
Dude,
That movie was
every
so good.
time the Five Nights, someone like I bring up the the FNAF movie, someone brings up the Nick Cage movie. I'm done, bro.
Hey,
I'm
It's
done
the
every
same
time.
thing.
Kylie
I
says, "I'm so pumped for new WWE 2K, but the AEW game looks like it was released by Broke
by
ECW."
Brookies. Day
Yo,
by
that
Daylight.
game, that
Don't
game
see
looks
game being
bad, bro.
don't see game being played that often on Twitch.
Oh no, no, Stacy, you're
It's
right.
because
No.
it's kind of, I won't say it's
It's old at this
it's
point.
dying. No, it's dying. It's because like so the problem, okay, with Dead by Daylight is that they're really bad at balancing. One patch, it seems like the game is very survivor sided. It's very easy for survivors to get out because, like, of course, there's like perks and things that you can put on to help you escape the killer easier. But then in the next patch, killers could be unstoppable. You could never get out. But again, it does depend on the skill level. If you're really good, you'll probably find a group of survivors who never stop touching each other's butts all day. But then on the other hand, if you're playing solo as a survivor, you can probably find a killer who's never seen a lick of daylight, has never touched grass once in his life. So it just really depends on who you're playing against. But at the same time, the developers are really bad at balancing. It's always one sided. It's never no one is ever on a level playing field. So that's the reason why Dead by Daylight, you're kind of seeing Dead by Daylight lose steam over the last few years. Plus, it's an old game. They're trying to do things to revitalize by doing like collabs, like they've done a Attack on Titan collab. They've done
Stranger Things,
yeah, Stranger Things. Of
bringing in
course, they
Michael
have Michael
Myers, Freddy
Myers,
Krueger,
Freddy. Yeah,
Leatherface. Yeah.
all of the famous killers. I wish they would bring Chucky. But yeah, so
Oh, that would be
That'd be
good.
dope. That'd be dope.
that'd be sick. But so
Or better yet, Tiffany from Chucky.
Oh my god,
Jennifer
yeah.
Tilly
they could be a
boy.
duo because they do have duo like
Yeah.
characters in the game. So I don't know. I could definitely see that happening. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet though. But yeah, a movie is in development coming from Blumhouse. Atomic Monster and Behavior Interactive. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. I think because I would say it's only interesting because obviously they're not going to use some of the copyrighted characters like
Nah,
Jason. As a matter of fact, Jason's not
Jason's
even in
not
the
in
damn
there.
game. What the
He
hell?
had his own game. That's why.
Yeah, I completely
And they
forget
had
about
to
that.
stop developing that game because of the rights
They got in
issue.
the
And I'll tell you
lawsuit.
what, that's
Yeah.
what I used to play. I only
That
started
game.
playing DBD once Friday the 13th stopped being updated. I
hmm
loved that game. I played the shit out of that game.
Didn't
Really
they
quick.
collaborate?
No, Stacy, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
They definitely did. At least I hope
How
not.
much, how funny would that be? Like, as a human, you're over there fixing something and you just hear her laughing coming up like real soft at first, and then it's getting
Imagine.
real loud.
Nah. I would absolutely hate to be working on a generator and then you hear coronavirus,
Coronavirus.
coronavirus, bro.
Oh
There
How
no.
has to,
terrifying
man,
that would
someone
be.
has to have patched that or you know,
No,
modded
absolutely.
that would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Dude, the
So what
That
PC
would make me
community.
cry laughing.
Stacy is referring to is that there's a hacker in Dead by Daylight who goes by the name of Cardi B in the game.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know about that. Nah, nah,
Nah, dude,
Nah,
nah,
dude.
that is
that ain't
so
it.
dumb. The PC community is golden, man. I oh god, the AEW game looks like Keon's opinion of Brock
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar. Yup. Yup.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about him, man. Anyway, so yeah, uh, nah, that's funny. The PC community is golden though. I saw that someone modded, I'm gonna go back to Hogwarts Legacy, but someone modded, one of the mounts in Hogwarts, and he got off. It was like a 1980s Cadillac or something like that he was riding, and he got out of it, and his wand was a blicky. So he was legitimately doing dry.
That's out of line. That's out of
That's
line.
a violation. That's a violation.
That's out of line.
Dude, I love the modding community so much, man. I love it so much. They are some of the most hilarious people on this planet. I've seen CJ from GTA San
I've seen that
Andreas
one.
modded to be Kratos and God of War. Nah, that dude.
One of my favorites was someone modded Mr. X from RE2 remake
Oh
into
no.
Macho Man. Where like
Oh my
he would
god.
just burst through the door. Yeah, just that was the best. That. I was crying laughing. I watched that over and over again.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, the modded community for video games is just, and that's why PC, like I understand, the sentiment when it comes to like PC gaming. PC really is elite. Like you can do damn near anything you want to. Um it's insane. But yeah, so as far as Dead by Daylight is concerned, I'm concerned. Because I don't know if this Dead by Daylight movie is really. I'm already kind of fearful for the FNAF movie. Like, as much as I want it
bro,
to
but
do
that shit's
well,
never gonna come out, bro. They've been saying they were gonna make that shit for so long now. It's
I
never coming
mean,
out, Keon.
yeah, but like, no, I think it's coming out within the next
You really think it's gonna
year.
come out?
Yes,
I think they're
they
already
have
filming it,
Matthew
aren't they?
Lillard. They're already filming. Like
Yeah,
Oh,
like they started filming. So like, yeah,
dude.
it's coming out.
You got to remember who's doing it. It's Blumhouse. Five Nights at Freddy is not going to cost a lot of money.
no, it's
And
not.
look at the return
No.
that they're going to. I mean, even if you have, and if they're smart, it'll be PG-13. That way, you got a bunch of
Oh
kids
boy,
that grew up playing it, and
I hope it's
they're
not.
gonna go. They're gonna go watch this movie just off of it being Five Nights at Freddy. And if it's PG-13, you get a bunch of kids that want to go watch Five Nights at Freddy's, and you're gonna make bank off of like a $15 million movie, and you're gonna get
Bro,
like
I don't even
80
think that
million or
high,
whatever. Like
bro.
it.
I
That's what I'm saying.
listen.
Like they're gonna make bank. There's no way that they
I
don't make that movie.
this
Honestly,
okay.
bro, I
Yeah,
think
the
like
smart.
8 million or 7 million budget, bro. Like there ain't no way
Yeah.
that they get as high as
Yeah,
15.
Matthew Lillard isn't exactly demanding a huge payday.
I I will say the smart thing for them would be to make it PG-13.
Yup.
But for as far as the movies are concerned themselves, if they want
You get away with a lot.
people, if they want people to have a good if they want to have a good first impression, because they've already confirmed two more movies after the first FNAF movie comes out. They've already confirmed it. So if they want to have a good first impression, they have to make the movie rated R. They have to, because dude. I'm not. Are you familiar with the Five Nights at Freddy's rabbit hole, Tony? By that I mean like the lore.
Lore, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have Five Nights at Freddy's VR for my PlayStation VR, my original one. I've played it a couple times. I've never been huge into.
Oh, you're absolutely
Five Nights
insane.
at
You playing
Freddy's.
VR and that shit?
Yeah. All it is jump scares. So it's one of those like if I'm all right with jump scares, but to me, jump scares shouldn't be the entire experience, and that's what it seems like Five Nights at Freddy's is just jump scares. So I'm not super into that.
Listen, it goes a lot deeper than just jump scares. The games themselves, yeah, they're like, mainly jump scare based, but the story goes
There's
a lot.
whole fucking story behind it.
Dude, I would just say this: those animatronics that you get jump scared by are children.
Yeah,
they're dead children that were killed by a certain individual, who created the animatronics to kill children. It's really, I implore you, Tony, just one day, like, if it comes across, your feed or something,
video.
just look up a YouTube video. It's going to blow your mind. The story is so dark, and it's deep, it's dark, it's horrific. That's what I'm saying. If they want to have a good first impression, they have to make the movie rated R. There's no other way around.
That sounds really familiar. That really does. What is it? Willy's Wonderland. That's why it sounds familiar. Because that's literally Willy's Wonderland.
Hey, bro, up until we got The Last of Us on
the
HBO,
R-rated Five Nights at Freddy's is already out there, and it's just called Willy's Wonderland.
Yep. Hey, up until we got Last of Us on HBO, bro, our Last of Us movie was literally Logan. It was literally fucking...
No, it wasn't. The Last of Us movie we had, and is still an amazing movie, is The Girl with All the Gifts.
I've never seen that.
You watch it. That is the Last of Us movie.
The Girl with All the Gifts?
The Girl with All the Gifts.
All right.
That is...
We do have less than 30 minutes until we're supposed to be on camera for what's it called? For the watching.
Yeah, I got you. And,
my bad, man.
With that Willy's Wonderland comment, we just
I watched that movie,
bro.
Keon.
That movie's great. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's exactly what it meant to be.
Yeah, that movie was something, Keon.
It was great.
I wouldn't use that adjective.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I like to thank Tony for coming on and blessing us with his presence. It was absolutely wonderful having you on. We definitely got to have you on again.
I'd love to. You got to hit me up in advance, though.
Yeah, I got you. Raul, thanks so much for being my emergency co-host. Thanks, Louise, for not being here.
R.I.P.
And
he will be missed. That car came out of nowhere.
Oh my God! Don't even say that.
We appreciate all of you who are subscribed to our Patreon. Without y'all, this probably
he's so bummed out.
Dude, that Willy's Wonderland, bro.
Keon, you never seen it, right?
No, and I have no plans to watch it.
You should watch it, bro. It's really fucking dumb.
Dude, I'm going to absolutely lose my mind because I know where they got the plot idea from.
From fucking Five Nights at Freddy's,
exactly, bro. So I'm like, how the fact that they had the gall to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie That's
with
not called Five
Nicolas
Nights at
fucking
with
Cage.
Nick Cage out of all people. Bro.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
And they made it R.
patrons, thank y'all so much for being subs. Without y'all, this probably would not be possible, as I'm losing my mind right now. And yeah, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Raul, send them out, please.
I have no idea how this show goes out because I just make sure that I'm modding or something when this show is on, and I'm making sure that people are behaving in the chat. But thank you all for joining us. Make sure you tune in for like the next in a couple of minutes. We're gonna have our AEW Revolution watch along. Keon faces off against the team of Nick and Alex with his partner KJ. Will he advance in the tag team tournament? Who the hell knows? Will Keon learn how to promo? Probably not. Just tune in.
All right, man.
Find out.
That's
So I know you would never freestyle, Keon.